After 60, your body doesn't weaken just because you're getting older. It often weakens because of small daily habits that quietly chip away at your health. You don't notice it right away. But over time, you find yourself getting tired more easily, losing strength, thinking more slowly, and feeling low, without really knowing why. In this video, you'll explore 6 common but surprisingly harmful habits that directly affect your muscles, joints, memory, and immune system. Each one comes with a clear, simple explanation and gentle ways to adjust, specifically designed with older adults in mind. And be sure to stay until the end, because habit number 5 may be the hidden reason behind your low mood, poor sleep, and memory decline, even if you've been eating well and getting enough rest. As for habit number 6, it might sound good on the surface, but it could actually be quietly draining your mental energy and making you more vulnerable than any physical illness. If you're enjoying this content, comment 1 below to let me know you're here. If not, comment 0 and I'll work harder to bring you even better content. Now let's start it. Habit 1. Sitting too long during the day, rarely changing positions. After the age of 60, many people begin to feel weaker. There's no sharp pain, no specific illness, but the body no longer moves as swiftly as it once did. Standing up takes longer. Bending down becomes harder. Gripping things loses strength. Most people assume it's just aging, something natural and inevitable. But the truth is, in most cases, the body weakens not because of age itself, but because of a small habit repeated every day. Sitting too much. You don't notice it right away. Sitting feels comfortable, effortless, and harmless. You sit to read the newspaper, eat breakfast, watch TV. You sit while knitting, making phone calls, taking a midday break. You sit again to write in your journal, enjoy afternoon tea. Each session is short, but added together, you might be sitting 8 to 10 hours a day. And that's enough to quietly slow your circulation, shrink your muscles, reduce bone density, and stiffen your joints. I once met Ronald, 74 years old, living alone in a quiet suburb. A gentle man, soft-spoken, without any serious health issues. But every time he came to the clinic, he complained of feeling weaker, despite not doing anything strenuous. At first, the doctor suspected anemia or a nutritional issue. But after a longer conversation, it became clear. Ronald rarely got up from his chair except when absolutely necessary. He hadn't realized this until he slipped in the bathroom. It wasn't a serious fall, but what frightened him most was that he couldn't get up on his own right away. That was the turning point. He started to change, not by joining a gym or running, but simply by standing up once every hour, walking around the house, stretching, rotating his shoulders and knees. He didn't set grand goals, just not letting an hour go by without moving. And then something remarkable happened. After a few weeks, his afternoon fatigue lessened. The morning stiffness in his back disappeared. After 3 months, he could rise from a chair without using his hands. When he shared his story, he said something I'll never forget. "I don't want to do anything big. I just want to make sure my legs still take me to the garden every morning." This transformation was deeply moving. From someone who sat quietly all day, thinking rest would preserve his strength, to someone who took control of his body's rhythm, appreciating every joint still able to move. From someone exhausted for no clear reason, to someone who felt reconnected with life's momentum. Sitting isn't wrong, but sitting too long without changing positions or moving gently, that's what silently drains your strength. After 60, the body doesn't need intense exercise, but it does need reminders. I'm still alive. I still want to move. Just 2 to 3 minutes of standing up, walking around the house, opening and closing your hands, lightly stretching your spine, that's enough to reactivate circulation, muscles, and a quiet spirit within. If you're feeling tired and don't know why, look at how much time you spend sitting each day. You may not need to do more, just sit less. Don't let the quiet of your chair turn down the volume of your life, because movement is life. And you, at any age, deserve to feel alive, gently but fully. Habit 2. Skipping breakfast or eating too little early in the day. Many older adults share a similar habit, waking up early, sipping a cup of black coffee, nibbling on a few crackers, or sometimes skipping breakfast altogether. They believe they're not hungry, or that eating lightly makes digestion easier and keeps fatigue at bay. But what few people realize is that this habit of barely eating in the morning is quietly slowing down their entire body for the rest of the day. While you sleep, your body rests but keeps working. The brain organizes memories, the heart keeps beating, the lungs continue breathing, the liver filters. After 6 to 8 hours without food, breakfast is your body's chance to refuel. But if you only drink coffee or skip the meal, Your blood sugar remains unstable, your muscles don't get nourished, and your central nervous system lacks the fuel it needs to function clearly. As a result, you feel tired, sluggish, mentally foggy, and as the day goes on, your energy continues to drain. I once knew a woman named Linda, 68, who lived alone. Every morning she'd drink hot tea, eat a piece of dry toast, and go about her chores. She believed her body was used to that rhythm after all these years. But recently, she started feeling dizzy, unfocused, and forgetful. Doctors suspected early neurological issues, but after reviewing her nutrition and daily habits, they found she was lacking protein, B vitamins, and often had low morning blood sugar. No medication was prescribed, just a simple change in routine. Start each day with a basic breakfast: boiled eggs, some oatmeal, or yogurt with seeds. Within 2 weeks, she felt noticeably sharper. And what surprised her most was regaining a sense of aliveness in the morning, something she had mistaken for aging indifference. The difference between skipping breakfast and eating properly may not show on day one, but if you maintain the habit for months or years, your body slowly weakens without a chance to rebuild its foundation. Muscle loss, memory decline, low mood. All these things are often blamed on age, when in fact, they're the quiet consequences of not giving your body the fuel it needs to begin the day. Breakfast doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to eat a lot. Just include a bit of protein, like eggs, milk, or tofu, a little fiber from leafy greens or oats, and some healthy fat from nuts or olive oil. More than anything, breakfast is a way of saying to yourself, I still matter enough to be cared for. Gently, from the very start. Don't let an empty stomach lead to an exhausting day, and don't treat breakfast as an unimportant routine, because after 60, how you start your morning is how you choose the tone for the rest of your life that day. Habit 3. Drinking too little water for fear of having to go to the bathroom too often. Have you ever woken up in the morning with a dry throat, tight skin on your hands, and a lightheaded feeling, even though you didn't do anything exhausting the night before? It feels like your whole body just went through a long, dehydrated journey, even though all you did was sleep. And the thing is, this doesn't just happen once. It repeats day after day, especially if you have a habit that many older adults quietly follow. Drinking too little water because of the fear of frequent trips to the bathroom. After 60, your sense of thirst becomes less noticeable. Many people even avoid drinking water on purpose because they don't want to wake up at night, they don't want to deal with the inconvenience, or they worry about bothering their family. Over time, the body becomes silently thirsty, not sounding any loud alarms, but no longer functioning smoothly either. Joints stiffen, the brain tires, the heart beats less efficiently, digestion slows down, skin ages more quickly. And the most concerning part is that many people think this is just normal aging, when in fact, much of it comes from not having enough water for the body to function properly. I once met a woman named Ruth, 79, who was thoughtful and took great care of her health. But she had one personal rule: no water after 4 p.m. Her reason made sense. She didn't want to get up at night or disturb her children. Gradually, she began to feel weaker in the mornings, had headaches, constipation, and trouble sleeping. After her doctor encouraged her to change the way she drank water, spreading it evenly throughout the day, drinking more before 4 p.m., and just sipping after, her condition improved significantly. No medication was needed, just water, at the right time, in the right way. Water makes up over 60% of the body. When you don't get enough of it, your blood thickens, your heart has to work harder, your kidneys slow down, and your joints become more painful. Your brain also loses the hydration it needs to stay sharp and focused. Even your immune system can weaken if you're quietly dehydrated day after day. The good news is, you don't have to force yourself to drink a lot. Just drink consistently, small sips, at set times during the day. A glass when you wake up, one mid-morning, another after lunch, and one in the mid-afternoon. Avoid drinking too much close to bedtime, but don't cut it out completely out of fear of nighttime trips. If you're concerned, you can also add hydration through light soups, juicy fruits, or diluted juices. Don't wait until you're thirsty to drink. At this age, thirst isn't always a reliable signal. Let your water routine become a quiet form of self-care, gentle and consistent, like watering your porch plants every morning. Not too much, but regular. That's enough to let your body keep blooming from the inside every single day. Habit 4. Overusing low-fat foods and uncontrolled dieting. As we get older, we often hear the same advice repeated over and over: eat less fat. Many older adults take this seriously, choosing fat-free milk, avoiding oils, cutting out fatty meats, skipping butter and cheese, and sticking mainly to steamed vegetables, hoping it will keep their hearts healthy, their weight stable, and their bodies feeling lighter. At first glance, it sounds perfectly reasonable. But when followed rigidly and long-term, this low-fat approach can actually weaken the body after age 60, especially in terms of muscle strength, memory, hormone balance, and natural inflammation control. I once spoke with a woman named Elaine, 72, who had followed a super clean diet for nearly 5 years. She eliminated all fats, avoided eggs and fatty fish, and didn't eat nuts, just steamed vegetables and brown rice. She looked slim on the outside, but on the inside she felt constantly tired, had trouble sleeping, struggled with low moods, and often felt anxious. A nutritional checkup revealed she was deficient in omega-3s, vitamin D, and healthy cholesterol, with early signs of metabolic imbalance. When her doctor encouraged her to reintroduce healthy fats, like olive oil, salmon, avocado, and walnuts, something surprising happened. She didn't gain weight, but she started sleeping better, her mood stabilized, and her muscle strength improved. That's because fat, especially good fat, is not the enemy. After age 60, the body no longer produces hormones as efficiently. The brain needs omega-3s to maintain memory. Joints rely on healthy fats to fight inflammation. And the body needs good cholesterol to produce essential hormones like estrogen and testosterone. When you cut out too much fat, you're not just lowering calories, you're stripping away the building blocks your body needs to function well. In fact, many low-fat foods on the market compensate for flavor by adding sugar or artificial sweeteners, which can spike blood sugar, increase cravings, and leave you feeling more fatigued. So eating less fat isn't necessarily better. Eating the right kind of fat is a smarter choice. Instead of avoiding fat altogether, focus on healthy fat sources like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, extra virgin olive oil, avocado, flax seeds, walnuts, whole eggs, and full-fat yogurt. These foods nourish the brain, stabilize energy levels, and support emotional well-being. Eating well after 60 isn't about cutting out as much as possible. It's about choosing wisely, eating in balance, and being kind to a body that's aging, gracefully and consciously. Sometimes, even a spoonful of olive oil is a gentle act of care for your heart, your joints, and your memory. Habit 5. Not going outside every day. Have you ever suddenly realized that it's been days since you stepped outside onto your porch? The morning sunlight still gently shines through the window, but you remain inside, with the electric lights, the sound of the TV, a cup of cold coffee, and a lingering quiet. Not because you're too busy, you simply forgot. You forgot that your body and your spirit need a bit of sunshine, a breath of fresh air, and a few moments outdoors to feel alive, to feel like you're still in motion. After 60, many people slowly start to withdraw. Fewer trips to the store, fewer community gatherings, sometimes because of health, sometimes because of inertia, and sometimes simply because it doesn't seem necessary anymore. And little by little, the body grows accustomed to the shade, while the spirit grows used to shrinking. What seems harmless can quietly weaken you, both physically and emotionally. Sunlight is more than just light. It's how your body produces vitamin D, a crucial nutrient that supports bone density, immune function, calcium absorption, and the regulation of mood-related hormones like serotonin. Without regular exposure to natural light, you might start feeling tired without knowing why, sleep poorly, feel down, or quietly slip into mild anxiety or depression. This becomes even more noticeable during colder seasons or in places where sunshine is limited. I remember a woman named Joan, 76, who told me she often felt her mood dip on rainy days or when she had spent too long indoors. It wasn't sadness about anything specific, just a heavy feeling, a lack of motivation, a disinterest in seeing others. Her daughter suggested she try sitting outside each morning for 10 to 15 minutes with her tea, letting the sun warm her face. And something beautiful happened. She didn't just feel physically better. Her mind felt lighter, clearer, more alive. She didn't need to go far. She didn't need to exercise. Just being in the presence of natural light was enough to awaken something inside her. You don't have to sunbathe or treat it like a workout. Just 10 to 20 minutes outside each day, in the morning or in the soft afternoon light, is enough to reset your body's rhythm, rebalance your hormones, and lift your mood. Sit on the front porch. Open the window while you cook. Water a few plants on the balcony. These simple acts not only help you stay healthy, they remind you that you're still part of the world in the most natural and gentle way. Habit 6. Do everything alone without asking for help. There are people who live alone and never feel lonely, and there are people who live in a full house, yet carry everything in silence. After 60, many people keep the habit of never asking for help, never complaining, doing everything themselves. Not because they don't have support, but because they've grown used to being the one who can handle things best. They feel like a burden if they speak up. They believe they're weak if they need help. And they hold on to the idea that as long as they can still do something, they should do it on their own, to preserve their dignity and feel they still have value. But that quiet self-reliance, day after day, month after month, can slowly turn into an invisible weight that drags both body and spirit downward. You don't notice it at first. Just that today you're more tired than yesterday. You sleep more poorly. You wake up feeling heavier. Small tasks like tidying the kitchen, changing the sheets, or taking out the trash begin to feel like too much. And instead of resting, you push yourself harder to prove that you're still fine. But it's that very pushing that may be quietly wearing you down. I once spoke with an older gentleman named Walter, 80 years old, who told me he always cleaned the house himself, even though his children were happy to help. "If I can still do it, I shouldn't ask anyone," he said. "If you get lazy, soon you won't be able to move at all." But in recent months, he developed persistent back pain. After seeing a physical therapist, the doctor told him directly, "You're not aging too fast. You just haven't given your body the chance to rest." Only when he allowed himself to accept help, asking his son to hang the curtains, letting his grandson clean the windows, did he realize his strength was still there, but he no longer needed to carry everything alone. And because of that, his body began to recover naturally. Doing everything by yourself isn't wrong, but if you turn it into a strict rule for life, you're forcing both your body and your mind to stay in survival mode all the time. And no one stays healthy for long in survival mode. You're not weak when you ask for help. You're not a burden when you speak up gently. In fact, letting others help you is a way of keeping family bonds strong, building connection, and nurturing gratitude in your relationships. The people who love you don't want to see you silently exhausted. They're simply waiting for a word from you so they can show that love. If you spent a lifetime believing that taking care of myself is best, then today, try something small. Allow yourself to rest when you're tired. Allow others to care for you. Not because you're weak, but because you've lived long enough to know that true strength lies in caring for yourself kindly, not in pushing until you break. Not everyone feels weaker because of illness. Sometimes it's the everyday things you keep doing, things that seem healthy, seem harmless, that quietly drain your energy and dampen your spirit. Sitting too long, eating too little, not drinking enough water, avoiding healthy fats, staying out of the sunlight, doing everything alone, all of these can slowly take the vitality out of your life without you even realizing it. But the beautiful truth is, you can change. You don't need anything dramatic. Just today, if you choose to stand up a little more, eat a fuller breakfast, drink water on time, step outside into the morning light, and share your daily tasks with others, that's already your way of saying to your body, "I'm still taking care of you." If this video helped you see yourself differently, go ahead and click like. If you know someone who might need to hear this, please share it. And if you'd like to keep walking this path of living well, living light, and living joyfully, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Because after 60, staying healthy isn't about trying harder, it's about enjoying life more.